This is Orsu security. This is Orsu security. Who say Mende? This is Orsu security, yeah. Mende. We have conquered Orsu Itopa. Who say Mende? This is Orsu security. This is Orsu security. Life in Orsu Itopa. Mende. Who say Mende? Bed. Well, I fear, yeah, we will now we will be this. No, we will be this. Now, the Siam, some of them still there for front, some of the women still there for front. We conquered it. This is the security of Orsu Itopa. Mende. This is Orsu security. Who say Mende? Nothing happened. Nothing. One nafia. Yando nafuna bobuni. All security Orsu Itopa recovery with the help of Ndamipa. Obuni Berisia Noa. Ebe discovery abo from Ihube Kasmia. Kasmia nere feed ne koto from Ihube ya. We Ruben Potoma. Elisri all this Obuni be unnafu sema battery ya. Unnafu sema the battery. Toja connected to Obuni. Unnafu sema the Obuni be. Obuni be ndabo mutambo tangu utilisier. All security Orsu Itopa recovery ya. Monsieur Heba, Monsieur the security men here. All the security is here. You know, it's a joint. It's a joint.
No be smart, you know, my people. While I don't bust to.
Kun fro bunu ngabo ta na keta ya obunu gbede ya. Iya ni hube boya de ya. Ni hube opio ha. E ba gesi bukto obunu gba keta. Woto. Nka uzo se jebe 10 de ya. Nka uzo se jebe 10. Nka boda bebe ayaka. Onu furu obunu gbe, o furu nuko obunu gbe bubutere. Oh, was that new? About 3 or 4 can you put the Nigu side the buyer can? Who for the Buniwe? Too heavy. Come with a mountain for 2 years. The balcon, I fear by no get out no that I know. I am man of my by no honor. Now Zuben Potomac, I know. No go front much. Zuben Potomac, I know. Una fear very well. Biafra be bunne ha bu the entire generation. Iya ha na Morocco si webido. Na Morocco si bido ka gi si mako si akwose. We have come to return peace back in Orsu Itopa. Whether the bandits they like it or not, there must be peace in Orsu Itopa. Orsu ya deka obodo ndo ozo nke ya dị iche. Ọ na-azụ na ben poto maka ino. No da. Ndami on the front and other soldiers. Our security agencies, they are in the front. Orsu Itopa security are in the front. Who say man no dey? Man dey woto.
They are heavy gun battle in Orsu, Imo State, as Biafra Liberation Army clashes with Nigerian army. Nigerian soldiers reportedly engaged in a violent clash with the Biafra Liberation Army, the gallant men defending the territory of the United States of Biafra. Just recently, over 50 soldiers were reportedly deployed to the region by the Nigerian government. However, there is significant tension in the area, with reports of the use of explosives devices like IEDs. However, a sit-at-home order was observed in the southeast, with all shops closed as part of the ongoing Biafra agitation. Meanwhile, in the northern part of Nigeria, over 50 women and children were abducted in a village in Zamfara state by armed Fulani bandits. The abductors reportedly moved house to house during their attack. However, northern leaders in Nigeria have expressed concerns about a proposed tax reform bill, fearing it may disproportionately benefit southern states. Advocates argue the bill would ensure that taxes remain in the regions where revenue is generated, promoting resourcefulness. Meanwhile, concerns were raised over potential plans by the Nigerian government to allow foreign military bases, particularly in northern Nigeria. The opposition stems from fears of recolonization and further instability, citing examples of foreign involvement in other West African countries. You know, sometimes when you hear about events happening in your country, it feels like you're reading a dramatic novel. And this time the stage is set in Orsu, a town in Imo State, southeast Nigeria. It's been on fire, literally and figuratively. I'm not talking about a little disagreement here and there, but a full-blown gun battle between the Biafra Liberation Army and the Nigerian army. Let me break it down for you, it's wild. So picture this. Orsu, usually a bustling town, has become a war zone. They say over 50 Nigerian soldiers were deployed to the area, heavily armed. It seems like the Nigerian government meant business this time, probably to subdue what they've often referred to as insurgent activities. But the Biafra Liberation Army? Oh, they didn't just sit back and let things slide. They came prepared too, and boy, the clash that followed was nothing short of chaos. Reports coming out of the area say it's not just bullets flying. Explosives, IEDs to be precise, have been thrown into the mix. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Can you imagine living in a place where explosions and gunshots become the soundtrack of your day? It's no wonder the sit-at-home order in the southeast was religiously observed this time. Shops closed, streets empty. It's like the whole region held its breath. But, as if that isn't enough chaos in one part of the country, let's shift focus to Zamfara state in the north. Here a different kind of terror played out. Armed bandits, yes, those same ones who have been a thorn in the flesh of northern communities, stormed a village. This wasn't your average robbery. No, these bandits came with a sinister plan. Going house to house, they abducted over 50 women and children. Let that sink in for a moment. Entire families shattered in one night. One villager recounted the horror, saying the bandits struck in the dead of night, around 1:30 a.m., armed to the teeth. People ran for their lives, but the bandits had the upper hand. Now, imagine waking up to find half your community gone. Young girls, married women, even little children taken away to an unknown fate. It's heartbreaking. And as if the insecurity in the southeast and the north isn't enough drama for one day, there's yet another brewing controversy. This time, political. Have you heard about the proposed tax reform bill? It's shaking tables, especially in the north. Here's the gist. This bill aims to keep taxes within the regions they're generated. On paper, it sounds fair, right? If your state generates revenue, it should keep it. But not everyone's happy about this, particularly some northern leaders. They argue it could disadvantage the north, which traditionally benefits from revenue generated in the south. One fiery debate in the National Assembly saw northern representatives voicing their opposition loudly. They claim it's unfair, that it'll shift the balance of economic power. But here's the thing, Southerners are saying, why should we keep sharing resources when we can use them to develop our own areas? It's a classic case of one man's meat being another man's poison. Oh, but wait, there's more drama unfolding. Have you heard about the whispers of foreign military bases possibly being allowed in Nigeria? The North is having none of it. People are saying, no way. They don't want a repeat of what's happened in other West African nations where foreign bases brought more instability than peace. The fear is real. No one wants to invite trouble into their backyard. Now here's the kicker. President Tinubu's recent cozy relationship with France has raised eyebrows. Critics are asking, why is he courting foreign powers? What's the end game here? It's like adding fuel to an already raging fire. Trust me, folks are not happy about this, especially in the north. They're calling it recolonization in disguise. Let me tell you something. Nigeria, as a country, is going through a lot right now. From the insecurity in Orsu, to the heartbreaking kidnappings in Zamfara, to political and economic tensions threatening to divide the nation further. It's a lot to take in, and it makes you wonder, where do we go from here? But amidst all this chaos, there's a lesson in resilience. The people, whether in Orsu, Zamfara, or the corridors of power in Abuja, keep pushing forward, hoping for a better tomorrow. And you, my friend, listening to this story, are part of that hope. Because awareness is the first step toward change. So, let's keep talking, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep hoping. What do you think about all this? It feels like the country is at a crossroads and every decision counts. Let's talk about it. Absolutely, let's dive deeper into this unfolding narrative. It's not just a story of events, but a reflection of the broader challenges and dynamics shaping Nigeria today. Let's revisit Orsu for a moment. Can you picture the life of the people living there right now? Families huddled in their homes, praying for the gunfire to stop. Parents trying to calm frightened children. The once vibrant streets now eerily silent, punctuated only by the sounds of conflict. It's like living in a movie scene you never signed up for. For those left behind, husbands, parents, siblings, the pain is unbearable. It's not just an attack, it's a rip in the fabric of the community. And for what? These bandits don't just steal people, they steal peace, security and trust. But here's the kicker. Why isn't there a louder outcry? Is it that people have become desensitized to such horrors because they happen so frequently? Or is it that the government's response has been so lackluster that hope feels like a distant memory? Whatever the case, it's a grim reality and it demands attention. Now shifting gears to this tax reform bill. Honestly, this is one of those issues that reveals the deep-rooted divisions in the country. On the surface, it's just about revenue allocation, but dig a little deeper, and you'll see it's about identity, history, and fairness, or at least the perception of it. For decades, there's been this idea that some regions carry the economic burden while others reap the benefits. This bill is attempting to address that, but the resistance is strong, especially from those who feel they'll lose out. One of the more amusing but telling arguments I've heard is about beer. Yes, beer. Think about it. In the South, people drink beer, and the taxes go north, where alcohol consumption is often frowned upon. It's ironic, isn't it? The South pays the tax, but the North gets the money. With this reform, the idea is that the money stays where it's generated. Fair? Some say yes, others, especially those benefiting from the current system, say absolutely not. This debate isn't just about numbers on a page, it's about fairness, equity, and accountability. If you're from a region rich in resources, should those resources benefit your people directly, or should they be shared across the nation? There's no easy answer, but the conversation is necessary. Now let's touch on the foreign military base controversy. This one hits a nerve. Nigeria has a history of resisting colonial powers, and the idea of foreign boots on Nigerian soil feels like a step backward to many. The fear isn't unfounded. Look at countries like Mali and Niger, where foreign military presence hasn't exactly brought stability. Instead, it's often escalated tensions and created dependency. Northern leaders are vocal about this, warning that it's not just about military presence, it's about sovereignty. We've been through colonization before, they say. We don't want to go back. Their skepticism is fueled by historical examples of foreign involvement leading to exploitation rather than aid. And let's not forget the underlying economic interests. Some argue that these foreign powers aren't just interested in helping Nigeria. They're also eyeing the country's vast mineral resources. It's a delicate balance, accepting help while ensuring you don't lose control of your assets. But is the government equipped to strike that balance? That's the million-dollar question. Back to President Tinubu's budding friendship with France. It's raising eyebrows for a reason. France has a complicated reputation in Africa, especially in its former colonies. Critics worry that Tinubu's overtures might invite the wrong kind of influence. And for a nation as diverse and complex as Nigeria, that influence could tilt an already fragile equilibrium. So where does all this leave us? Honestly, it feels like Nigeria is at a breaking point. But if there's one thing Nigerians are known for, it's resilience. This isn't the first time the nation has faced challenges, and it likely won't be the last. The question is, How do we move forward? How do we bridge these divides, address these issues, and create a future where everyone feels included and secure? It starts with conversations like this, with awareness, with holding leaders accountable, and most importantly, with hope. Because without hope, the darkness feels overwhelming. But with it, well, even the longest night eventually gives way to dawn.
Yes! This is Orsu security. This is Orsu security. Who said man? This is Orsu security, yeah. Mende. We have conquered Orsu Itopa. Who said man? This is Orsu security. This is Orsu security. Life in Orsu Itopa. Mende. Mende. Who said man? Bed. Well, I feel, yeah, we will be now. We will be this. No, we will be this. Now, the sham. Some of them still there for front, oh. Some of the women were still there for front. We conquered it. This is the security of Orsu Itopa. Mende. This is Orsu security. Who said man?
Nothing happened. Nothing.
As you can see, every shop is under lock and key.
One nafia. Yando nafuna babuni. All security Orsu Itopa recover ya with the help of Ndamipa. Obuni Berisia no. Ebe discover ya bo from Ihube Kasmia. Kasmia nere feed ne koto from Ihube ya. We Ruben Potoma. Kelisri all this obuni be onnafu. Onnafu sema battery ya. Onnafu sema the battery. To connected to Bunu. Bunu fisika de Bunu be. Bunu benda bo mu dambo tank utiliser. All security Orsu Itopa recover ya. Monsieur Heba, Monsieur the security man here. All the security is here. You know, it's a joint. It's a joint.
No be smart, you know, my people. While I don't boss too.
Kun fro bunu ga bopta na keta ya obunu gbe de ya. Ya ni hube boya de ya. Ni hube opio ha. E ba gesi bupto obunu ga keta. Woto. So nka uzo se jebe 10 de ya. Nka uzo se jebe 10. Nka boda bebe ayaka. Onu fro obunu gbe, ofro nuko obunu gbe bubutere. One was not new, about 3 or 4 can book the Konigu Bogosa de Bayaka. Whom for the Bunigo? Too heavy. Come with a mountain to 3 years. The Bakon, I fear by no get out no that I know. My man of my by no, or na Zuben Potomac, I know. No go front much, no go front much. Na Zuben Potomac, I know. Una fear very well. Biafra be bunne ha bunna ha. Go the entire generation. Iya ha na Morocco si webido. Eh na Morocco si bido ka gi se ba ko si akwose. We have come to return peace back in Orsu Itopa. Whether the bandits they like it or not, there must be peace in Orsu Itopa. Orsu ya deka obodo ndo ozo nke ya dị iche. Ọ na-azụ na ben poto maka ino. No that. Ndami on the front and other soldiers. Our security agencies, they are in the front. Orsu Itopa security are in the front. Who say man no dey? Man dey woto.
I wake up this morning to see an online publication from the deputy spokesman of the House. read as the content or the heading read as, the newspaper is Daily Trust. And it reads, those who oppose to tax reform bill now seeking speedy passage.
Say that again.
Those who oppose to tax reform bills now seeking speedy passage. Mr. Speaker, I am one of the first people that oppose this vehemently. And Mr. Speaker, the House or the deputy spokesperson did not contact me as a stakeholder or did not seek my opinion in this. Mr. Speaker, the heading is insinuating that those who oppose this bill is like there is an inducement somewhere. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I am calling.
Do you have the copy of the publication?
Yes, I will lay it, Mr. Speaker.
Can you send it to me?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Let me finish. Then I will bring it. Mr. Speaker, I am calling for the withdrawal of this statement and an investigation and an apology in a print media, because I'm coming. Mr. Speaker, this is an injurious to me and injurious to my people, to my religion, and also to my region where I came from. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I am calling this. Mr. Speaker, this is an entire breach of privilege. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I think this is unprofessional.
Looking to come and exploit our mineral resources predominantly in the north. They are looking to explore oil and gas, which they ran away from, and they are coming. And number three, most importantly, most worrying, and everybody in Nigeria, I beg you to lend me your ears. We will resist vehemently any attempt by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government to allow any foreign military base on our soil, particularly in the north, because it's going to be a harbinger of trouble. All these lacura things you're hearing, it is French that started all of this things. They started all of this thing. Wherever France was in West Africa, there's no peace. Why would President Bola Ahmed Tinubu bring them back without consulting anybody? So, military base, France or America or any country will be resisted vigorously by all of us, because this is a country we love, and we're not going to allow recolonization of this Nigeria like they've done in the other countries.
Now they see, so these things now they cause problems. This even the visit that what do you call it? What do you call this man? Tinubu had with that French President Emmanuel Macron is causing a lot of problems. These people no agree.
Danger is coming. Our Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's romance with France is no good news for Nigeria. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are elected by us. You must speak to us. You are not going to commit us to any foreign military presence in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And whatever investments you do must be vetted by our sleepy 10th Assembly. They must wake up. Wherever France is not good. Mr. President, you are not talking to Nigerians. The reason France is cozying to Nigeria and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is allowing them to, and we will resist, is because they are looking for a place to situate their military base after being kicked out. We in the north, which is a place they are looking to locate these bases, we in the north will vigorously resist any foreign military boots on our soil. You remember after the coup in Niger? Nigeria, the president had just started, he had not even assembled his team. So he said, we're going to attack France, we're going to attack Niger, and I'm sure prodded by France. We in the north resisted vehemently. We're not going to allow Nigeria to invade Niger because the fight was going to be a proxy war. America, the United States of America, had one of the biggest drone bases in Agadas in Niger. This thing was, they're going to fight Islamists and all that. No. Insecurity has been much worse where you have foreign bases by these foreign countries. So they're looking for three things. They are looking to come and exploit our mineral resources predominantly in the north. They are looking to exploit